I would say always do what your heart tells you to do and what you think you are capable of. Don't put too much pressure on yourself, because I also know one of my friends who said that if I would walk into, who wants to wear the hijab, by the way, she said, but if I were to walk into a room and people would look at me, and I would feel that even if it's not like bad looking, if it's just normal looking, I will be too weak to accept it. I know that I will cry.
Wie du alles erreichen kannst mit Hijab. Dieses Ziel hast du dir ja vorgenommen. Und du warst auch bei einem Arbeitgeber, hast da als einzige kopftuchtragende Frau gearbeitet und warst super stolz. Wie bist du da hingekommen?
To the job?
Ja.
So when I first arrived to Berlin, I felt very depressed and frustrated. Because I had the feeling that I needed to start from scratch and that I had to leave my university behind in Cairo. And then I had to learn the language, and then not only the language, but there was the foundation year, the Studentenkolleg that I had to also go through.
Yeah.
So for me, all of that was very overwhelming. And I knew that at that time I needed support. So I needed a community.
Yeah.
And I started looking online for anything that I could do. And then I found this organization called Ready School. So Ready School teaches courses for computer skills from the very beginning to advanced levels. And there was the women's program in English. And although I did not intend to become a programmer nor a designer, but I signed up for 2 courses and I took them, and I met many people who had the same situation as me in Berlin. So that really helped me to realize that I'm not also the only one, again, to the idea of empowerment. So I was like, okay, so if they also have to struggle through it, then I will struggle through it. If they have to study German, I will study German, you know?
MashaAllah.
Yeah. And that really helped me to get out of depression, because in the beginning, in the first few sessions, I truly felt that I was pulling myself out of bed every morning to go to the course.
Yeah.
And with time, that felt then very normal and felt very encouraging to wake up. Like, I have something to do today. And this is how I really got out of that depression phase. And then we had an event, and I met the founder of Ready School, and she started to talk about how she started the school and why and the mission. And after her presentation, I just went up to her and said, "Hi, my name is Mahra, I'm a student here, and I would like to become a founder one day. What what kind of advice would you give me?" And then she was very kind to offer me like some time to meet at the office so that we can have a longer conversation and she would understand more of what my needs are. And we did. So I met her in the office another day, and I told her about everything that I wanted to do, how I imagined my media company would be. And the first thing she asked me was, "Okay, this is great, but what is your business model?" And I'm like, inside of me, what the hell is a business model?
Ja, ich fühle das wirklich. Verstehe ich.
Like, okay, interesting. I don't know. I mean, I was like, first of all, I don't know what a business model is.
Yeah.
And second of all, I will figure it out one day, you know? Yeah. It's just like, this is what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. I wanted to build a media company.
MashaAllah.
And then she was like, okay, very interesting. I know there was like some programs that you can join and then you can learn more about business. This is the first step.
Yeah.
And then I want you to put a plan for the next 3-4 years of the people that you want to meet, who you can talk to. And then she also introduced me to some people from her network. So that was kind of my first step. So if I hadn't approached her that day and said, "Hi, my name is Mahra, I want to be a founder," all of this wouldn't have happened, right?
Yeah.
And a few months later, she texted me because I was, at that time, I finished my B2 course, and then the job center consultant, do you say that? My job center consultant, she said that B2 is over, you need to find either a job or you need to go to university. So I was like, yeah, well, I do have a different plan. You know, I want to start a company. And I want to work in in the project management field.
Ja.
She was like, I swear that's what she said. Ja, stimmt. I'm like, why? What's the problem, you know?
Oh.
Yeah. And then I wanted to also do a 1-year diploma for digital marketing.
Aber meinst du, ja, stimmt oder ja, bestimmt?
Ja, stimmt, like, we will see, like.
Okay.
Dream of it, you know?
Okay, ja, dann hat sie gesagt, ja, bestimmt.
Yeah, like this kind of attitude.
Ja, wow.
And then I didn't understand what she meant back then.
Yeah.
I was like, what's the problem, you know? Mm-hmm. And then a few months later, I gave her an offer of like a diploma, 1-year diploma for digital marketing. Mm-hmm. And I thought that would be good preparation before I study business in university, but she declined it. And then I was so frustrated at that time. I didn't know this is what I really want to do. Why are you stopping me from it?
Yeah.
And then she, or Anna, she texted me on WhatsApp and she said, hey, how are you? How have you been? Where are you so far? And then I told her the story and she was like, wow, this is really sad. Like, it shouldn't be this way. And then
Anna is
Anna is the co-founder of Ready School.
Okay, das ist
Yeah.
die. Mhm.
And then I received a message 2 days later also from her saying that she wanted to introduce me to her husband. And I was like, okay, I don't know why, but fine, you know? And it turned out that he is the founder of a consultancy agency here in Berlin, and that he offered me a job. And I was like, as a project manager, and I was like, yeah, sure, I'm in. Like,
Yeah.
Forget about the course, I don't need it.
Bye.
Yeah, I will learn through practical trainings, you know?
Yeah.
And then I joined the Ignore Gravity consultancy agency here in Berlin. And I worked there for 18 months. And I gained a lot of like experience in terms of how to plan a project, how to report the outcomes of the project,
Yeah.
How to plan events
Yeah.
online and on-site. And to me, that was very helpful also to build the mindset of an entrepreneur, of what you had to do. And I worked on a project that's called Grace, which is a female accelerator. So I also got to talk to a lot of female founders here in Germany. I got to understand more about being a founder, what you needed and so on. And then I learned what a business model is.
Und was ist es?
So a business model is basically, how is your business making money?
Ja.
So what are your channels of revenue? So this is basically what it is. And this is the most important aspect of a business. So if you say, I have a business idea, the very first thing people ask is, what is your business model? This is why she asked me that. Yeah, and then I also worked for some startups before that. In different areas, like I did financial, which I wasn't good at because I'm not good with numbers, and I did some marketing. I also, in my previous job, I did some social media marketing, so I learned a little bit about content creation and script writing and everything. So yeah, it was quite a journey, and here I am today.
Mashallah.
Exactly.
It's good to have you here. Schön, dass du da bist. Und in diesen Phasen, wo du halt immer wieder gestoppt wurdest oder man dir gesagt hat, nein, mit Kopftuch wird das nichts, bin ich dir ganz ehrlich. Du bist aber fest davon überzeugt, hast du mir erzählt, dass man alles erreichen kann oder so als muslimische Frau mit Kopftuch. Was gibt dir mental so die Kraft dafür, daran zu glauben und auch in schwierigen Phasen halt einfach weiterzumachen?
Because it's simply my right. It's my right to look however I want to look, and you cannot judge me, and you cannot also say that, no, you have to look a certain way to be accepted in a certain place. So for me, this is what empowers me. It's that, hey, it is my right to choose. And I think if I lost this right, then I wouldn't be making an impact, and this is not who I am.
Es kann ja aber auch sein, dass du sagst, okay, irgendwie, ich habe jetzt die Nase voll, immer glotzt mich irgendjemand auf der Straße an oder irgendein blöder Spruch oder immer werde ich gestoppt, dass du sagst, ey, das war mein Recht, aber irgendwie habe ich keinen Bock mehr dafür oder immer dagegen anzuhalten, weil das einfach meine Energie frisst.
Yeah, I remember all the stories of my friends. I remember the the situations that I've already been through and that I could make it. As I said, like I was the only person who wore the hijab in my workspace.
Yeah.
So to me, when I have these moments of doubt,
Yeah.
then I just return to these situations and I say like, hey, you've already made it this far, why give up now?
Yeah.
Or I tell myself, well, it worked. Like the job center told me, this is what I understood later on, especially from that HR manager that directly said, no, you don't have a chance. I was like, no, but I do have a chance.
Yeah.
See, I made it.
Yeah.
I made one step further. And even when I brought my work contract, they were like, how did you get the job? She literally asked me.
Wow.
And I'm like, recommendation. None of your business, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that made me realize, and it encouraged me to continue with this mindset.
Ja. Was würdest du muslimischen Kopftuch tragenden Mädchen, Frauen, die jetzt gerade zuhören, empfehlen in den Momenten, wo sie wirklich, wo es ihnen schwerfällt mit dem Kopftuch? Was würdest du empfehlen?
I would say always do what your heart tells you to do and what you think you are capable of. Don't put too much pressure on yourself, because I also know one of my friends who said that if I would who wants to wear the hijab, by the way, she said, but if I were to walk into a room and people would look at me and I would feel that even if it's not like bad looking, if it's just normal looking, I will be too weak to accept it. I know that I will cry.
Okay.
And I'm like, yeah, but we understand the situation, so you don't have to put pressure on yourself. So what I'm trying to say here is that really do what your heart tells you to do. You don't have to be the person who's fighting. You don't have to be the person who, no, I will wear the hijab if you accept it or not. It's okay if you feel that you can't.
Yeah.
Take it off, or don't make the decision from the first place.
Yeah.
So I would say also to all the other women, don't be judgmental. Because I would often hear that from people. Yes, I would often hear that from people who live in Egypt, and they're telling my cousin who doesn't wear the hijab anymore, why are you doing this? No, you're just like being a brat. This is, it's silly. You're making this a big deal. It's not that hard. But don't be judgmental. You don't know how this person is feeling. You don't know what they're going through. So it's different for everyone, and I would accept if you choose not to wear the hijab as a Muslim woman, and you just need to really feel from the inside that you want to do it. If not, just don't. It's not a pressure.